Okay, my name is Abiodun Kaode Fawmi. I'm the Managing Director of Biogo Nigeria Limited. Okay, yeah, I got to know Waya Yilara way back since I think about 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. There is a program that was organized by one of the real estate, one of the real estate yeah, event organizer at Oriental Hotel. So I attended that program, and Wale was one of the speaker. So he spoke, very well, about the emergence of real estate, and all that, and how, the real estate market in Nigeria is evolving. So, and after the event, I walked up to him, got his contact, and discuss with him, what my company does, and how we can collaborate, and all that. So, and that's how I got to know him, and later, having to visit him once or twice, in his office towards Lagos Business School, and also submit some proposals, for service that we can render to his company. So that's how we kept on, until after COVID, when he started Urban Plan 1 and Urban Plan 2 project. And I had some of my phone that was stuck somewhere, with my clients. So the money was paid. And I was looking for where to invest. So that struck my attention that, okay, I can put in, some money, in this guy's project. And I went in to make inquiry. So, and fortunately for me that day, I saw Wale, and I walked up to him, we exchanged pleasantry, and I told him, I like what you're doing here, and all that, and I want to be part of it, I just pick up a subscription form, and then anywhere I go to, I look at the opportunity, so immediately after picking up the phone, I spoke to him, I saw that, okay, there's also opportunity for my company here. So I now told him, oh, you remember I do this, and all that, and I can also feel for you, to support your project, And he said, oh, really? I said, yes, we've discussed about this before, though our discussion was centered around dredging, but this is some feeling, so which is equal as pumping the sand somewhere and hauling it, via truck because there's no water body, where his project was located. So he now dragged me, to move me close to his engineers, Engineer Nee and his team, and we discussed with him that this is the kind of people we're looking for, and all that. Let's see how we can work with him. He's my friend, and all that. And Engineer Nee took me in and said I should submit the proposal. I submitted the proposal, and they started giving us job. That's the beginning of my, my service rendering to Landwey. Okay, as I said earlier, we are dredging services company. We render little reclamation, we render jetty construction, we render ports infrastructure development, we render reversement, we render shoreline protection, we render capital and maintenance dredging. And also landfilling, most usually when you look at Lekki coastline, there are a lot of swamp, and some of these swamp don't have water body around them to be able to put a dredger and pump to the land. So we rather pump somewhere else and use truck to move to the side. So it's synonymous to Landwey Urban 1 and 2. So the only way we can work with him, I don't want to say because there's no water body. and that means there's no work for us. No. So everybody needs to think out of the box. So because after COVID, you have to it becomes a new normal. You have to start thinking of other areas where you can tap into as for your business. So I look at real estate and like services like sand filling, material procurement, mining products like granite and all that stuff. And I pitch it to them. So and we started working for them. So we supplied them granite and also supplied them sand to sand fill, Urban 1, Urban 2, Urban 3, Urban 4. Then we also do equipment hiring. So we hire equipment for them, ancillary equipment, bulldozer, swan boogie, excavator, and all that. So because before you can start sand filling, you need this equipment to be able to prepare the site. So all those are side by side. So our services ranges from equipment hiring, sand filling, procurement, and the likes. Okay, if we started working with Landwey since 2020. 2020 to today, at least we're in 2023, so I think that's like 3 years. Okay, yeah, we all the Landwey estate on Ogombo Road from Urban 1 to 4, Urban 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there's another one called Onis. Then we have the Amber, then also Westwood. Westwood is in Monastery Road, and we also Milton is there. Milton is in our area, Then Milton. I think there's another estate in Okwado, but I can't remember the name. That one is not far from their office. So, if I'm not mistaken, and also Isimi. Isimi in Epe, so Isimi is actually the major, but at least about 7 to 8 estates, that Landwey own. Then Frontier is in Beechwood, which is in Lakwe area. Okay, not at the moment. Okay, well, I did not stop working for Landwey per se, so some things that happen in my organization. I have a director who happens to be the project director called George Ogbichioko. George is an oil and gas professional, and I'm also oil and gas professional with dredging and marine services experience. So I brought George in, as a process engineer, that any job that comes from the oil and gas sector in terms of pipeline construction, non-destructive things in capacity protection, tank farm upgrade and reconstruction, brought him in, to handle that area. That any job that comes from dredging, marine services, marine logistics, and all that, I will handle it. He can also handle that. So that was why I brought him in to be a director in Biogood. And our relationship started way back 2018. So after that, bring him in, I had to introduce him to Landwey as well, because when you are having a project, you also need to introduce your team to the company, so it won't look as if you are just running on a solo. So I also have a board of directors, and all that. So George was introduced to Landwey, and during the introduction to Landwey's team, something happened. There's a guy called Korede. Korede Obatunde who happened to be George's friend. George brought him, because he said Korede also know Wale. He's the one helping Wale to get land and all that. He's an Omonile or something. That's the way he called the guy. That is an Omonile, So he brought Korede in for that meeting. So I didn't know what they have discussed before they came for the meeting. So after the meeting with Mr. Sheon, Oshigbeson, Pastor Dayo, Oshijirin, CG, who happened to be the Landwey's legal advisor, the lawyer, myself and George and Korede were at the meeting that day. After the meeting, Korede now told the team that going forward, all message, correspondence, suggestion, comment, anything that is coming from Landwey should go to George directly. So I didn't allow him to land, and I took it off and that no. Gold, we have a policy. We have a company policy. That's not the way we run our organization. There's no house they will send message to one person. Are you get what I'm saying? So whatever message that's coming from Landwey, should trickle down to every member of the team. So he go angry, I go angry, and all that. And from there I just decided for somebody to come up with this idea of sending message to one person. So what have they discussed? What happened? What have both of them discussed before they go into the meeting? Does it mean that George has told this guy something, something else? Or he has had the pre-discussion with him, of how the event will go and all that. So, but it wasn't a very good meeting, and all. So when we left, everybody went their way. And I called George and I told him that, George, you caused this problem because when this guy was saying this thing, you didn't see anything. You could have taken it away from the guy that, come, Korede, this is the way we, and I'm the one, that the guy is not snapping at. Because he's your friend. You should be able to quench whatever rifts, that is coming from him based on, my outburst. So we let it slide, and one of those days I went to their gym, I went to meet him, I discussed with him, I said, okay, guy, it's one of those in the business. So whatever happened that day has happened, so let's move on, and all that. And that's how, I ended, because for me, I believe in making peace with all men, So we left. I kept on working, with Landwey, and all that. So there is a project called Frontier. When Frontier came, I brought in George, to it, because he doesn't even come to the office. Only when there's an opportunity. When you see opportunity coming, and all that, and I call him to it. You see him coming, every day, and all that. As you can see now, there is none of his officers here, but it's what it is, So I run this office, 100%, and all that. But he just he's a sleeping director, but I carry him along, So when opportunity comes from his own side too, he brings it to the table. So now in 2022, we got the first job, which is the Frontier. While we were on Frontier, Wale called his project manager, Mr. Tayo, that he should call Bayogo to take Bayogo to site, take him to Isimi. And as my transition, I had to call. I told the Tayo that, okay, I have to carry my director. Let's meet him up. He's somewhere around ShopRite. At fitness, high fitness. There's a particular gym location there. So I went there and we picked him up. So we went to the site. We saw the project. The viability of the project. I told Tayo that, okay, this place is a forest. So before you can talk on dredging, you need to clear. So after clearing, then we can start talking about dredging. So the course of that, we left the site, said we should submit our code. We submitted the code for the clearing. The clearing was awarded. So in the course of the contract award, George, so when after that day, he now called me that, okay, Wale said Korede should be the one to manage the project. And I asked him, is Korede Landwey's project manager? He said Korede and one Ade. And I said, I don't know Ade, but I know Korede. But Korede is not a Landwey's manager. So if Wale wants anybody to undo his project, it's his team, not somebody outside, So he now said, okay, Korede, and that's what they said, because Korede is his facilitator, and how is Korede your facilitator? I'm the one that took you to the site. Korede does not know about this job in the first place. You are the one that picked you to Korede. So if you say Korede is trying to slide himself into the project, then I can understand, But because I've had one or two experience in the past, of people that work with me, behaving funny, I had to allow him to, okay, if you say Kurede is a Kurede, one Wale said you should manage the project, that's fine. So let's roll. That's okay. Are we giving them discount? Yeah, we can give them 5% discount. They now went to negotiate 3% discount with Wale. And came back to me that they said, okay, the 2%, they're going to take it. And I say, come, why are you taking 2%? Why can't you give the guy the full 5%? He said, no, that's the way they want it, and all that. And they also want to share, with the company, the profits. They want to share the company. The Wale will take, Kurede will take one portion, Ade will take one portion, the company will go with one portion. And I said, come, how is that the way you run your own company? We're supposed to give this guy only facilitation fee, which in our organization is between 5 to 7%. So why are we sharing profit with the, But because I saw the way, the way it's doing, I don't know the kind of discussion they've had, in the past. So all these things that are going on, I didn't even know. If he's having a conversation with Wale, he will go have the conversation with Wale behind me and come and tell me whatever he feels I should know. No, I didn't, because for me, I don't think Wale. For me, I felt there is a time is coming that Wale will get to know if there's any. Do you understand? If there's any reason for him to know, but this is just internal consumption. I didn't take it to Wale to discuss or to call him for anything, So, but when they now awarded the contract and Wale paid the first money. As soon as he paid the first money, I think Wale paid 30 million to the company's account. George now said he was coming to collect a check for Kurede, and I said, come, why are you collecting check? Are you not a signatory to the account? You don't have to collect any check, whatever money that is due to everybody, they will get it. As the 30 million is eating the account, here, George was in front of me here because there is an account that the company has that Landwey knew about, which is Biogold Enterprises, and Biogold Nigeria Limited was the one that is on the quotation we submitted. So, and George is not a signatory to Biogold Enterprises. So the money was paid to Biogold because that's what the account system in Landwey knew. So they paid the money to it. Immediately here in front of me, George was sitting in front of me here. I wired 10 million to George's account to pay to Kurede as he said. The remaining money that's available, I wire it to the. So he brought a guy here called Niyi, to come and it's okay, we don't have to be going to site, we are bigger than at this point in time, we need for people to be running this thing for us, let's bring in somebody, let's sublet this equipment to this guy. I never knew I was going to discuss behind with this guy. The guy came here, was trying to, to negotiate with him. Let's negotiate, let's get some discounts. The guy said, oh God, there's no discount, blah, blah. So eventually he was able to give 2 million discounts. Immediately I gave that guy money, George went again. He went back to go and collect kickback from the guy. So that's how I kept on paying. Anytime Wale pay money, I have to pay facilitator, I have to pay to Niyi, to continue to work. So, but mostly my angle is every time George comes on with this facilitation fee, I'll ask him, why are you taking facilitator fee as important more than the project? Because project comes first. When we finish the project, whoever, you understand, we want to give money for facilitation, we'll give it to them. Not to be, your own concern is about facilitation. So when the job was stalling, the guy at the side, he called me and said, Mr. Abiodun, I need money. And I said, okay, the money you need, you cannot tell me you need money right now because I've given you over almost 50 million or 50 million, so to say. The 50 million I gave you should be enough. Should be enough for you to be able to carry, to some reasonable, but I've not seen you have not done to up to the money I've given to you. That's why the guy opened up to me that, oh guys, sir, I'm not like that, blah blah blah, You also have some people, some stakeholders, and other in this. I've given your person 10 million naira. You gave George 10 million. How? And George was there when I was trying to negotiate with you. Did not even say anything. So he gave me a kickback. So I actually had to, reverse back and start thinking about, okay, George is collecting money from, as a facilitator. He's collecting money from me. He will also come back to the company and share profit. What's happening? So I had to call him to the office, for us to have a meeting. He came to the office and I asked him some questions. I need you to own up. I need you to come clean. Let me know if there's any money that you are taking that I don't know about. Let's talk about it. He was using his fathers in the grave to swear in the office. I did not take any money, and all that. As I was saying that okay, Nii said he gave you money. And they said, over his dead body, how would he say he gave you money, blah, blah, blah. And I said, he said he gave you money. Can I call the Nii? Before George has started sending Nii message in front of me here. By the time I called Nii said, Mr. Abiodun, George just sent me a message now, blah, blah, blah. What do I mean, And I said, George, you're on speaker, okay? Did you tell me you gave this person money? George, Nii denied it. When Nii denied I gave George money, then I knew that there's a problem somewhere. I knew that I'm working, I'm sitting on a gunpowder that's ready to explode. And if I didn't tackle it right now, it's going to go and wait for the organization in the future. So I had to, and I call the company legal advisor, in, because it's always, part of the project from the beginning, and I call him and say, okay, this is the challenges I'm having with this guy, another. What do you think we should do? And he said he has been noticing that too, So, but he can't come up to come and be advising me on what to do. But now that I know, this is the step that I feel you should take. The first thing for you to establish, you need to establish to see if this thing they are saying is true. But for us to go through this, we need to go to the police station, let's write a petition. Wrote a petition to the police. From the police, they got a banker's order from the court, to infringe into his account. The account statement was printed. So, and from the account, I discovered so many things. I discovered all the money that is said, this one is taking, that one is taking. It's actually, it's George that is taking them. It's giving Korede part of it, but it's just using them to pay an automobile company where they bought cars. I don't know if it's himself and Korede that is buying the car, but we're just using. You see him collecting money today, paying to the automobile company tomorrow. Everything is in the account statement. So, and when I got all this, I felt really bad, and that this is a big betrayal. How will I have a director, that we're supposed to work together to the progress and the growth of the company, and all he's interested is how to siphon whatever available for in the company, So, and I call, so I now send him a query letter, because I've called you into the office. I give you all the opportunity that I should give you to come out clean. Now, this is the truth. The moment of truth is here. So come and say what you know about A, B, C, D. So after I send me a reply, because I told him to reply within the next 48 hours. If not, legal action will be taken against him. So he replied, I've crossed my boundary, blah, blah, blah. So with all this, Korede also now called me and started talking, who gave me the audacity to go and enter his account, blah, 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 this and that, And I said, okay, I did not enter those account. I went through the normal route. I went through the normal process. This company is bigger than me. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than George. It's an organization for crime and law, and there is a section in CAC called Kama. So with what Kama says, so it's far bigger than both of us. We are just servants. We are just serving the company. If the company go bankrupt tomorrow, the company will still be there. We will go our separate way. So he now said, okay, and blah 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 and all that. So they now, both of them now conspire. I don't know what they told Wale, the owner of Landwey. I don't know what they told him about me. I don't know the kind of, things they have said about me. So, and because I discovered that several times behind me they will go for meetings with Wale on the swimming project. I will just, is that I see the picture or I heard about it. I will not be wondering who is now the MD. At the point I even got to know that some of Wale's staff is saying Isabel is not the owner of the Bible, it's George. The owner has come, and all that. So I now send message to Wale that I really need to see him. That I knew that he's aware of what is going on in my company, but I want to come and see one-on-one so that he should give me fair hearing. He saw my message, he did not reply. I called him, he did not pick. So, and I even went to the extent of, I saw one of his elder brother at the Koyi Club. We were at the Koyi Club together, and I went to meet him, pastor. I discussed with pastor about what is happening, and all that. Pastor said he's going to call Wale, he's going to discuss with him and call me in for a meeting with him. Pastor could not make headway. Even his own brother couldn't even make headway for me to even speak with him. So now we're doing the clearing, and along the line, Landwey started paying money. He stopped paying the money to the company's account. And I discovered I started paying George and Corey behind. So I didn't even know anything about it. You sign a contract with the company. Now, somebody that called him said, you have not even confirmed whether this guy is truly a director in this organization. You have not dealt with this guy before. You have not done any transaction with him before. You don't even have any of his documentation. You only have the document of BioGood. And you knew who BioGood was. So somebody now came, by way of introduction. I started dealing with him behind the owner of the company. So I now told my lawyer to write Landwey, wrote Landwey, and all that, told him about, okay, this is the stage of the work, this is what we have done, this is the what we are expecting, our balance, and all that, so that we can move the work. We have done this work to 85%. Send that letter and say, okay, if you did not do anything within 7 days, we'll take legal action. That's why Wale now called. He did not even call me directly. He now sent his project manager, Mr. Dio, to call. We now discuss on 3 ways call. So he now said that he didn't know I'm the one that used different things to save my number, blah 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 and all that. That he's so sorry that I'm the one that this thing has been happening to all this while, but now that I know about it, he's going to come in and make sure the problem is solved and all that. He now said I should tell my lawyer, not to proceed with any legal action against the company, and all that. I said, okay, no wala. He said we should meet. I went to see him in his office. So throughout that period, when I went to see him, he didn't allow me to say anything. He just said, Mr. Biodun, I knew everything. I can tell, you can now what human beings can do, and all that. George is just an Omo Igbo, that's the way he call it. Omo Igbo, that's the way they behave, and all that. And I said, well, George is not an Igbo man, George is a Benue man. Do you understand? So don't say what you don't know. Do you understand, So we said, okay, now that the remaining money, he will call Mr. Dio. Mr. Dio is the project manager. He will call Dio to see how he can start disbursing the money. Then dredging is coming soon. The dredging we also need to discuss about it and see how we can mobilize. And dredging was the main reason why we went to the site in the first place. So in the process of all this, when I discovered that, okay, this thing has gone, haywire, I know that Wale, they have discredited me, they say a lot of things to Wale, and Wale did not give me fair hearing, he did not even ask me to even know probably what they were saying was true, and I now went, further, to now say, okay, he will call me, he will start paying the money, and he didn't pay. I did not see any money. I kept on sending him a message. When is this money coming in? Because we need to proceed. We need to do one or two things to close out this project. Then there's some money is also going on other estate. There's one for Obantry that's been going for like 2 years. That has not fully paid. There's also one that's one on Itoikin when they launched Itoikin, for Ikime Ayarin, that's not paid. The Frontier, the one I did also is also there, about 21 million. It has not paid. This one is seeming is about 65, 75 million. That has not paid. So all this money, is going to almost about 100 of millions. So I kept on sending a message, and all that. They will answer me, okay, Mr. Abiodun will do something, Mr. Abiodun, I'll call you, and all that. That's only some of the messages I kept on saying, So I traveled to the States, I went to the US. While I was in the States, and I discovered that the dredging contract has been given to George, who happened to be a fraction of Biogood. So you gave the dredging contract to George, who does not even know anything about dredging. You gave the contract to George, who went to also use, a company that Biogood partnered with. Do you understand what I'm saying? We had a technical partnership with the organization that George is using, to secure that project, And when I saw that thing in the US, I really felt bad. I had to call someone and say, okay, so this job has been given to George, right? Say, yes, okay. Meaning that Wale know what he's doing. So every video, every picture that I sent to Wale of the kind of equipment I want to use, I'm sure that I was sending it to George, or sending it to Korede, and Korede is forwarding it to George. I told Wale a lot of things, a lot of how I want that project to go, how it's going to cut costs, and all that. He did not yield to everything I told him, just because he felt he's bigger than me. He felt okay, he can do and undo. He felt he's the owner of Landwey, and whatever he does in Landwey, he can do and go away with it. But which he can do and go away with it, but he's owing me. Which I feel whatever is owing the organization, should be paid, so that everybody will go their way. So nobody called me for termination. No one called me for progress. No one called me for the updates. But me, I have different letters I've sent to them. Do you understand? But which they never replied. Yes, you kept on, working with a fraction of Biogood Nigeria Limited, which is George and his cohort. So, and when I got back to Nigeria, for me, I didn't know what to do, and all that. I had to discover the lawyer again, that, okay, this is the situation of things, and all that. It seems that this guy is already dealing with George. So, what do we need to do? And it's okay, we should head to court. Let's head to court, because the man is not replying, he's not saying anything, So when we now went to court, got a court, right of summon, and sent Landwey right of summon, So that's where we are, as per our services, to Landwey. So, and in regard to George, you can see so many things in his account, so many illicit things that you can't even think of for somebody who is holding such position in the organization. The level of fraud in his account is unquestionable. The level of fraud that has happened, even working with even our competitor behind in the oil and gas sector. So it's unfortunate that I didn't know that this is the kind of person I'm working with, So if not, I don't think I would have wanted to do business with this kind of person. Because of your selfish interest, discrediting just because I'm fighting corruption. Corruption is now fighting me back. So since that time, I've not been talking to Wale. I've not been talking to any of their staff. I just left it like that. Okay, let's use legal means to be able to fight, our battle. So that's where we are at the moment. The money is there. They are still in debt. The right of someone is that's why we went to court. So in the court document, everything is stated there. All the money is owing. From a Bank 3 to Isemi to Frontier and Future City in towards Ikorodu. You know, I forgot the name of the location, but Future City is the name of the estate. Of course, you know, you can see that some of my staff, I've laid them off. I've laid them off because, you know, so much money is outside. You get what I'm saying, you know? So much money is outside, so we can't even, and you know that this is a business of naira and kobo. It's not something, you know, with huge profit. You know, it's just something to, you know, to keep going, you know, and you keep having turnover. So, but how to hold on to this amount of money, of course, it's a setback for the organization, honestly. It's a big setback. You know, but we still have to be in business. When I went to meet Wale, you know, that gave me the opportunity to start working for him, you know, and I look at it, okay, you know, he was paying every 72 hours, you know, whatever we did then, you know, they will quantify it and pay us, you know, every at least at most 1 week. Your money, you know, is is back to the company account from Landwey. So which look promising. So every sensible businessman want to go, you know, all out, you know, to see how you can support, you know, the project. And knowing fully well that you are supporting the project, you are also benefiting. So I went to, you know, to borrow money, you know, to buy trucks. I bought trucks to support the business, you know, because I was hiring truck then. So instead of hiring truck, you know, let me also reduce some of these overhead costs that's coming from trucking and all that. So I bought two. Now, at a point, you know, it just shut down the business, the supply business. It shut down everybody. You know, that auditor will come and audit all the company that is working for him, you know, and all that. And the money that was owed then was running to, you know, multiple of millions, you know. And knowing fully well that the loan I collected, I have to pay back every month. You know, I have to pay this loan back. The one I could also, you know, to also do because then the cost of trucking, cost of moving the sand, you know, everything trickled down. So you buy sand. It's not that I didn't take any sand on credit. I have to buy the sand, but I'm using my money to buy it. So he's not giving money, you know, he's not giving you pre-order. It's post-order. When they order, you deliver, they quantify, then they pay you. So he now shut it down for so long. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Money was not coming from Landwey. Job was not coming anymore. You know? So at a point, you know, he now brought in, I started giving the job to, you know, to maybe 1 or 2 persons, you know, and left all of us hanging, you know. So when the pressure was much, I had to sell the truck. You know, I had to sell the truck so that I would pay the bounty money. I had to sell the second truck also, you know, some of the people I'm owing money on sand, you know, to pay them, you know. Then some of this money I'm talking about, even when he started paying, I had to call him out, send him messages, you know, middle of the night I'll send message, you know, before he now start paying the money small, and the money did not even come in bulk. It will come in piecemeal, meaning I'm unable to even use the money for anything, you know, because there's a lot of debt on ground, you know. So, but I didn't look at that, you know, because I just look at, okay, this is business as usual, you know. All my home was that, okay, the reason why I'm hooked is because there was no contractual agreement. It was based on gentleman agreement. You give me, I supply. After supply, you pay me. But I knew that okay, that's a mistake we made, and I promised myself going forward I'm not going to do anything with Landwey without having contract agreement. So that was why when they brought the issue of Isimi and Frontier, it was contractual. Collected contracts, on those two jobs. So, and now with the judge issue here and there, talking bad about me to Wale, discrediting me, and all that, emotionally, and all that, that thing also affects me. Because that is not me. Trying to tarnish the image of the company, it's not me. It's not the culture of the organization. The culture of the organization is integrity, fairness, and justice. So we treat our clients, the way we want them to treat us. That is why most, even if you don't give us money, we'll deliver, but we expect you to reciprocate. So I can tell categorically that what is happening between Biogold and Landwey has, badly affected the business. Badly affected the business that, if not because of God, if not because, tenacity, if not because of, having to be someone that, I believe so much in continuity. I don't want no man, no matter what, no matter who you are, you cannot run my business down because you are not there when I started it. Do you understand? So the company still needs to go. But I can't deny the fact that the decision Wale has taken on Biogold in his company has really affected the company, one way or the other. Okay, my home as it were is on, I think the last information I got from there is on 75% completion. And because of these challenges I was having with him, George and Kurede and these rifts going on between us, I just saw a letter one day that they've terminated my subscription. So, I don't do anything without my legal advisor, and I called the company secretary that see what Wale, sent and all that. So, and he checked the agreement, and all that, and he actually replied them that they cannot terminate because I've done more than 50%. And secondly, you are also owing me. You are owing so much money that's even like almost about ×5 of the money that you think I'm owing to pay for the home. So there's no how, there's no how, and there is also a rule for termination. You did not write to me. Do you understand? As a customer that you defaulted in your payment. You did not call to say we should call for a meeting. Then you did not also not wait for me to reply if you had written me, prior written me to give me a notice that you are going to terminate. You just woke up one day and say you have terminated and I should not pay money to your account. Meanwhile, you, Wale and Landwey, you are owing me so much money that even if I fully paid your money, I still have I can even use that same money to buy another house within any of your estate. So where is the termination coming from? This termination is bad belly now. You feel okay because you are the owner of this guy. This guy is, I'm having issue with him, and then I can also terminate his subscription, which is not done. So my lawyer have written there, that they can't do that. They should be guided because I've fulfilled everything I needed to fulfill. Even you, Landwey, you are the one that have not even fulfilled your own part because I've done what I'm supposed to do. And secondly, the reason why I even stopped paying was because of the level of work, because of the pace at which they are going. And don't mind you, I'm also a realtor. I sell houses because people trusted me outside the country. Because of me, because I'm with Landwey, at least, if I'm not mistaken, I sold almost about 7 houses. Urban 1, Urban 2, Urban 4, ownings in those 4 estates. And as I'm talking to you right now, those people are dragging me left, right, center. One came recently from the US. In fact, that one said she's even more interested in the transaction because you can imagine that this lady paid 27.5 million since 2021. As maybe about 3 weeks ago that she came, or 2 weeks ago that she came, when we got to Landwey office, to my surprise, one guy, maybe Damola or Shola or whichever, I don't know, one guy that is in charge of ownings, saying that they have not even started that woman's project. You can see how broken that woman was in their office. If I did not follow that woman to that office, probably she would have brought that office down that day. But because I was there with her, she was calm, but I can see, in fact, all the anger was placed on me because she said I was a cause. I didn't do my own due diligence well about Landwey. I didn't do this, that's what she was saying. And she said, mind you, I want my money. You are the one that introduced me to Landwey, get my money out. And we're still on that. Several others. There is another one, Linda. The husband is in the UK, in fact, the husband is a white guy. Mr. Louis is in London. He's also a business officer who gave me money. In fact, she was part of the people that also gave me money to, when I was doing this sand supply. That's part of the people I sold the truck and I had to give the white man money because of my integrity. I don't want anything to tarnish my image. That lady had to go to Landwey's office to shout at them that the husband is going to call them out outside Nigeria. She has paid almost maybe about 43 million. As of today, they just started that work. They just started that foundation like less than a month ago. And this woman, they have paid their money since 2020. August 2020, that's when they started. Several others, I'm having this kind of challenges. So my integrity is also at stake. So terminating my property, is as a result of the rift. It's as a result of the fact that, okay, another, possibly because of the fact that the lady mentioned my name. The Linda lady mentioned my name, why she went to shout. But is it my fault? I brought in business for you. I brought in business for you and you made people now start making me, treating me like a criminal. Meanwhile, the money was not paid to me, they paid to you directly, they paid to Landwey. I always tell the client, deal with them, my own is just to bring you together. Anything I can help you monitor because I'm there. I'm also a contractor, I can see, but to my surprise, some of this thing was not done the way it promised. For me, these are not valid excuses. I see this as it's just an exit. It's an exit, to the situation on ground. You need to tell yourself the truth. Before it started, COVID it started immediately after COVID. So if you say COVID, a lot of developers have started projects and they finish. They can count how many projects they have finished. If I start mentioning names now. So this issue of COVID, inflation, and all this, but as a developer, you need to forecast. You need to forecast. You need to do your material forecast well, and have the warehouse where you warehouse some of this material. You can do 1 year, 1 year material ordering, knowing fully well, okay, in the next 1 year you are home and dry, whatever the inflation, whether dollar goes up, whether dollar comes down. Because you cannot go back to your client. And that's the essence of you telling them to pay, maybe on monthly basis, for this number of. So if you say somebody should pay for 1 year, and you've ordered the material, even let's even you order the material on credit, you can also tell the person you order the material on credit, I will be paying you monthly. No clue whether from each of the clients money will come. But this is like a misplaced priority. Because for me, I feel when you embark on a particular project, finish that one before you move to the next one. So for me, what I see here is about the fact that there's a misplaced priority here. You don't finish one before you move to the next one. And you cannot take money from A to B. Do you understand? And you now think, okay, B will make A to survive. No. Finish A, then you move to B. So for me, all those report of COVID, inflation, and all this it's just like a, it's an exit. And as a Nigerian, and when they tell you something, you just sucked it in and move on from there. But it's not done. So the company started well. So I don't know at what point they got it wrong. Is it a bad? Is he injecting bad people into his business? Does it mean that he does not listen to people anymore? Or does it mean that even he himself, need to check himself to be sure of what is going on? Or the society. So, but for me, all this, I don't think these are the problem. The major problem is that focus. Do what you have promised, so that the customer will do what they have promised you in terms of delivering of their payment. Because I have a lot, I can't, even apart from the fact that the people I sold to directly, a lot of people that I know who also have the same challenges with the same organization. So I'm not saying this because I want to get back at him. No, I'm not getting back at him. I'm saying this is things I know. This is things that has affected me. And somebody is doing as if he's above the law. Somebody think, okay, he has the wherewithal, he has the money, he has the connection, he can shut me without even being able to say anything. I'm sure that if not because of this platform, maybe I might not be able to. Nobody will even hear about what is going on. I mean, you can imagine how many people are facing this same thing. Who are quiet, and I read some of them will even die in the process. But you can't do this to me. That's the thing. Because this is a hard-earned money. I struggle to make money. Legitimate business is not easy in Nigeria, and you know it. So if I give you 1 naira, you should appreciate it. If I give you 10,000, 20,000, you should appreciate it. So I cannot invest so much, as a business owner to support your business. You had my money. As a homeowner, I bought a house from you, thinking, okay, at least I want to pay this money over time, and I saw the way you are running your business. I had to halt it. Okay, maybe when you pay me, I'll pay you off. You terminated the contract and telling me that you also want to charge me 30%, taking from my own money that I paid to you, of what on top of what was the termination, because of your own selfish interest. So for me, all those things, all those messages sending out and all that to customer is a way to exit. Well, as far as I'm concerned, as far as Bible is concerned, it's for us to pay us what is being owed. We need to come to town. We need to you understand, to see how we can exit. I want to exit from this transaction because it's draining. So pay, even if it's not giving you any job tomorrow. Of course, Ex Landwey just one client. There are a lot of clients out there that can still do business with us. As far as I'm concerned, Bible has not soiled their hand in anywhere. You can go to anywhere. Take Bible to bank. You meet it there. You meet it there. So if the only way is for us to pay what is owed, what is being owed on different projects that we have done for him, as per the house, for me to balance and give me my house. I already know my house is on Beaumont Close. Beaumont Close number 26. So give me my key. Immediately I pay. When you finish, I give you the money. Or when you pay me, you can deduct the money from what is being owed. Then give me my key. But say you want to terminate, I don't think that's not possible. Because you didn't follow the rule of termination in the agreement. So as for the other people, those I brought in, make sure you finish their project. Whoever that signifies that they want to exit, pay them their money. Let them go so that you can, you can come back with your brand and let people build the trust again. Because there's no trust in Landwey anymore. Anybody that is putting their money now, they're not taking high risk. I don't think because me, Biodun, I don't trust the company anymore. So I'm 360-degree dealings with Landwey. Homeowner, contractor, realtor. What else? So for me, I felt give those people that you are responsible to give their home, their land, and all that. Let them have their home, let them have their land. Those who want to pay up, let them pay up. So that this name can still remain in business. As far as I'm concerned, what belongs to us, belongs to us. If not, after this, I will still come out again. After this interview, if my case is not settled, I will still come out again. This is Nigeria, I'm here. You can't send me a parking out of Nigeria. Landwey is too small to send me out to send me packing.